Well, they are impressive. Nobody can block them. That's the first thing you see. They're big and physical. They don't mind doing the dirty work and staying in their gaps. And, they attack their techniques. They just play with great leverage. They're well coached. Linebackers don't miss fits. They don't get blocked a lot. Their linebackers don't, because the guys up front keep people off of them very, very, very well. Their edge players are outstanding in terms of just bottling people up and maintaining leverage. And then in the back end, when something does pop through, it gets knocked down quickly. So, I see an outstanding defense and a huge challenge for us.
Great. And assuming that Connor Bishop is unavailable for Saturday's game, can you provide us with the possible starting five up front?
Well, we'll have to see. That's a work in progress as we go through the week. So still not sure. I'll know when you know, probably, to be honest with you, on Saturday, and some of that'll be later in the week decisions and game time decisions. That's just kind of where we are right now. But the guys that are out there in practice are working their tails off and improving. And we're looking forward to getting some guys back.
Great. Thanks, Brent. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
Hey, Coach. Ken Kreitzer. Good to see you. Hey, I just saw maybe as Charles was asking about the health of the players, how do you see the quarterback position at this point? Tyhier was hurt in the Ball State game. Jamel took a bunch of hard shot, and Coach Monken's been saying Jabari Laws might be a factor in a game soon. How do you see the quarterback position going into this game?
Yeah, again, some of that is kind of work in progress, but Jabari continues to get better, get a little more healthy every week. He's really battled extremely hard coming back from his injury and surgery, and continues to gain a little more suddenness as we go through the season. And so that's certainly a possibility. Tyhier is doing fine. I think he's feeling better, and he's practiced well. So we're excited about him getting back. That was really his first significant game action since 2 drives in a Georgia State game, last game, and he had to carry the load, and he did a lot of good things in that game as well. But I feel like he's more comfortable right now, and then Jamel, he's been a little banged up, but kind of working him back in there as well. And Cade Ballard's been getting some reps as well.
Okay. Hey, Wisconsin's got some really big players on their defensive line. Their nose tackle is 317. Bento and the 2 defensive ends are both over 290. And Coach Monken was talking about their inside linebacker yesterday, Leo Chanel, who's 6'2", 261. So they bring a lot of size into their defense. What do you see when you watch the tape of those players?
Well, I don't know if that nose is 317 or not. I think that's a little bit on the light side. I think he looks a little bigger than that, and not in a bad way either. He's not sloppy. He's huge and mobile, and just hard to move and willing, and he's going to make money playing football. A lot of those guys on that defense are, I think the defensive ends are outstanding players as well. Remind me of a taller Nolan Cockrell, just in terms of how they play and playing with leverage and just nasty. The linebackers, like I said, they don't miss fits. A 260-pound linebacker, that's bigger than our tackles. So just we've got our challenges. Trying to figure out a way to block those guys and trying to find a way to move the ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Coach. Tom Shanahan. Speaking of playing, a big Power 5 school, especially an elite one like Wisconsin, you guys almost upset Oklahoma. You almost upset Michigan. Is there carryover from those games, or are they different rosters now? It's too long ago to really benefit.
Yeah, I think there's if there's anybody that was around, they were pretty young as far as their careers. You know, they would have been sophomores, guys that would have played in the Michigan game, and gosh, if they were in the Oklahoma game, it'd be even they'd have been freshmen if they were on travel squad. So I don't know if those are different teams and different times, different set of challenges, different offenses, defenses, on both sides, different structures that we're playing against. So as a program, I think maybe there's a confidence that we belong in those games, that we can compete at that level. I think that our guys think that. They weren't all a part of those games, but the bottom line is in those games, we weren't able to finish them off, and that's not why we went there. It's not why we went to Norman. It's not why we went up to Ann Arbor. And so we went to try to finish the deal off and find a way to win. So there's no moral victories at this point at Army.
And I interviewed Barry Switzer about a year ago on a different subject, but obviously we started talking about the Army-Oklahoma game, and he said afterward, everyone was asking him, Coach, what happened? What happened? And he said, I'll tell you what happened, the triple option. We never had the ball. Are there certain games where you feel like you're going to be able to control the ball, or is it a constant X and O's of each series is different? Is that just a unique time where I think you had about 45 minutes against Oklahoma?
I think honestly, Tom, I think our offense lends itself towards that. The fact that we're willing to go 4 downs in a lot of instances and take some calculated, risks that most people would consider risks. I think that plays into it. That extends drives where most teams may punt. I think sometimes it just takes us a long time to get down the field where we don't have as many explosive plays. And with that has to come increased execution, and you've got to execute for a greater number of plays. But, a perfect drive for us, if we could, take 9-10 minutes off the clock, and you have to finish those drives too. It doesn't do you any good to take 9-10 minutes off the clock and then not finish those drives. So the red zone scoring and being able to finish on the goal line is huge. Just time of possession is not the most important stat. To me, it's points per possession. That's the most important stat in football. How many do you score when you have the football, and how many do you give up? And that's something that, that's what matters. And just possessing the ball, yes, it does limit maybe the amount of snaps that your defense plays. And maybe that can help in a lot of instances, but you still have to score points. And this team that we're getting ready to play is extremely hard to score points on. And they're really good in short yard situations. And it's tough to score on a goal line. They're built to stop the run. And they just match people up when you're trying to throw the ball and get enough guys in the box to, get an extra hat in there and make it really difficult on people. So, like I said, it's a great challenge, and it's one we're excited about. We've got to really, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We've got to do what we do. It's not like we can say, oh, they're really good. We got to change what we do in order to compete. We just got to do what we do at a high level. And it comes down to, can we block them? And can we sustain the blocks, and can we read them? Can we get the ball distributed to the right person? And can we convert in the short yard situations and be an efficient offense versus one of the best defenses in the country, bar none.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Brent, Ken McMillan.
Hey, Ken.
Brent, going back to Kenny's question about the size of these guys in Wisconsin, how are they as far as pursuit goes? Do they close the gaps, kind of like what Ball State was doing, or can you, find an answer?
Yeah, I think they pursue the football like I would imagine their defense coordinator did when he played. And I never coached against him or saw him play a whole lot, but I can just imagine they kind of taken on that personality, and they play like their hair's on fire. And it's impressive to watch. They love to play. You can tell they've got a cause behind what they're doing that they believe in, and it's evident on the film. So that's one of the reasons why there are very few big plays against them, because there's always somebody. If one guy misses or is out of a gap, which rarely happens, and somebody's there to clean it up and have his back. So it's an impressive thing to watch the way they fit things and play together as a unit.
Tell me how technique beats size?
Yeah, I think it's you got to play with great pad level. You know, we have to find a way to make that an advantage for us. You know, and to the way that we play, maybe the tempo of blocks that we use on a day-to-day basis. You know, we've got to find a way to make sure that's the speed of the game and the pad level is an advantage. You know, because if you have better pad level, you can negate a little bit of size at times. And the low man, you know, has a chance to win. But that's we've got to do that. You know, we can't talk about it. We've got to do it and make that an advantage. You know, in the game.
And last thing about Tyler, obviously it was a tough go against Ball State. He hasn't dealt with that much adversity. He's done pretty well during his career. So how did you address that with him? How comfortable do you think he's feeling right now?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's dealt with a lot of adversity that people don't know about. Battling through West Point and battling through injury last year. He was a slot back in the middle of the season with a severe infection in his leg, who got moved back to quarterback, and 2 weeks later was a starting quarterback in San Antonio, you know, and so he's dealt with a lot of adversity. I mean, the Army-Navy game, to be the starting quarterback in that and to be on that stage. So that's nothing that that kid can't handle. He's not a kid. He's a man. The way he approaches things and just his maturity and you know, his time here, how it's to see him grow every year. You know, he's confident. He should be. He's earned that confidence through the way that he works. It's not fabricated, and he's going to play well.
All right. I guess the genesis of my question is, I wasn't sure when we talked to Jeff after the game whether he was pulled for ineffectiveness. I know he had taken some big hits in that game. So I guess is, you know, the adversity he faces in a game and the decisions he makes.
Yeah,
I feel like he's gaining confidence.
Yeah, he wasn't pulled for ineffectiveness at all. It's more what the situation dictated at the time and kind of what we felt like we needed to do. I mean, like I said, he made some really good plays in the game. He was able to. Adversity was 21-0, you know, and we were able to, you know, battle back. And we've run like 3 plays and it's 21-0, you know, and that was partly our fault. But I mean, you know, just the way things went in the game, and so battle back, brought us back, and we're right there with a chance to win. It just didn't happen. So. You know, there's no reason for him not to have complete confidence, and we have complete confidence in him. So going forward, I expect him to execute, you know, more of what, you know, we saw in the Georgia State game.
We'll do a few more for Coach.
Thanks, Brent.
Yes, sir.
Any others for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, just to ask you, when going back to the Ball State game, Army ran 2 terrific drives in the second quarter, 75 yards and 80 yards behind Tyhier Tyler. But then the second half was so much more difficult to run the ball. Yeah, the one drive, but then you're saying couldn't complete it on the 4th down play. What went well in the second quarter against Ball State, and what changed? What adjustments happened? Maybe Ball State made in the second half.
I think that, you know, we were able to get the ball to the perimeter on those 2 drives, you know, really well. In the second half, we took some shots, you know, and play actions that we were unable to complete, that are big plays that have a chance, you know, change the game. And we needed to execute the average plays in our offense a lot better, in my opinion. And, you know, then, you know, schematically, there's always some things that we can do better as coaches and myself, get us in a better situation where maybe we don't have to block as many guys, you know, and things like that. So it's a combination of things like it always is. And you know, you can look at it and say, well, if we just hit these passes, then that's, but, you know, it's our job as coaches to make it easier for them, you know, and to find some ground where we can, you know, go out there and execute with ease.